The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
Look, everybody, Ocho tells you exactly what's going on all the time. But cousin Cinco, now he's the man. He knows what's happening out here. So I think you should really listen to him because he's going to give you some insight as to what's happening out here on the PBA50 tour. Enjoy.
Special guest tonight on Straight Up 5 with JP. Cousin Cinco. Or is it Stinko? I don't know. Tune in and find out.
Cousin Cinco? Who the is that?
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jacob Electric here.
Hey guys, Chuck Richey here, formerly of Bowl TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5, Rad Rob, Dr Ocho, and of course JP Jr.
As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation.
Strike, and they claim it. Similarly does it.
So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Dr Ocho. Dr Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
I do.
It's so good. I'm your host, Rad Rob, Rob Francois. It's a me. It's a Rad Rob. This is episode number 161. We have a very unique guest tonight. Something that was kind of last minute, mostly because nobody else is available this week. But, it is what it is. Let's see who's in the chat before we bring in my hosts. The host most. What up, Nico? What's going on? Yeah, we're late. Sorry, that's my fault. Sting, man, what's going on, brother? Crambo! Crambo! What up, dog? Pete Cow's in the house. What's up, bro? You had Popeyes last week. I actually had Popeyes last night. Blackened grilled chicken tenders are the way to go. Sperone! What up, dude? By the way, shout out to Roger Meany, great friend of our show. Got into a motorcycle accident last week before. Totally fucked his face up. He's good, though. He's going to be able to save his eye, but he broke his orbital bone and he hasn't been able to read shit for a week now. Punctured lung and broken shits, but he's fine. He's good. He's on the mend. But, shout out to Roger. Not sure if he's going to be watching. Listening. What up, Raj? Anyway, who else we got? Sean Kelly, what's going on? Good evening, Miss Valerie. Hello. Alex Bermudez, good evening from behind the drill press in Modesto, California. What's going on? And Clifton Don, 74. Winner, didn't he win? I believe he won the bowling ball, or he won something on here. I don't fucking know. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. Let's introduce my first co-host. He is the man with the golden mask. Recently found out he had a cousin. Who fucking knew? That's 2 F-bombs. And my wife told me that she can't watch this show because I swear too much. Oh, yeah. Dr. Interrupto. Ocho. What's going on, brother?
Everybody, I'm sorry for last week that we weren't here. Obviously, you can see by Rob's shirt, he was at a family reunion and they all got some shirts. So that must mean that I want to see the group picture. It's not on Facebook, unfortunately, because Nintendo still has the rights to his family. Happy birthday, Nicole. And I don't know what's going on with this person besides Sperone going to get a handful of Ocho fist one of these days. I don't know who this clown is. I don't know how this got past the board. I don't know how this got past the art department. I don't know who the fuck, as Barnes says. It's almost like in Major League when they're like, who the fuck are these guys? That's what we're doing right now. That's and fair. Rob, how was the family reunion? Did Mario steal the princess again?
He did. Bowser just... He's never going to learn his lesson, right? Just keeps...
So you guys just hung around on barrels, sitting there all day, and the man just set a freaking tray of oil on fire.
Ate a bunch of mushrooms. Yep.
No hammers or nothing like that. But at least, I mean...
Purple hammers.
It explains. Look, listen, I've never seen a neck on the Donkey Kong gorilla, so, I mean, this is starting to make more sense.
Speaking of necks, I'm glad you said that. Before I bring in Johnny, I got something I want to put up on the screen here.
That shows already getting tracked.
Or disprove your theory. Hold on. No, hold on.
Hold on.
Let's see. Overlay, add picture, downloads. Here we go. So obviously the running neck is the running joke is I don't have a neck. If I was running,
first
I would
have
you
and running and necks are three things that should never ever be spoken about together.
That's fair. So before the show started, I texted you and John Boy
I didn't get shit from you,
a picture from Facebook memories of 10 years ago. That was me at 217
And Rob
pounds.
had just come from a family reunion then also, clearly, because Nintendo has sponsored these family reunions since that's where his family is derived from.
True. But as you can see here, as a skinnier version of myself, I still didn't have a neck. So I literally don't have a neck.
Is it possible that you're the adult Stewie Griffin right now because your head is like a football?
I have an egg-shaped head.
It's like if Stewie Griffin's head went sideways, like you'd be him.
It's true. It's not a cone head.
No.
It's
symmetrical.
For sure. Or it's a peanut head.
Great show, Rob.
Anyways, can we get off the neck shit because I don't have a neck. I never will have a neck.
I'm not in control of this. You are a freaking no neck having fucker.
I do.
Oh, hold on.
Also joining us.
Let's go to set up a poll. One of these days, we have to come up with a spelling for Adu. One official spelling. I don't like that we have 20 of them, and they all make sense. So we need to agree on one.
No, yeah.
There can only be one.
There can be only one.
Go ahead.
So I'm thinking EYE.
No. Bring everybody in over the next month.
No, I mean I'm giving my opinion. I'll put a poll up. Okay. Joining us also is the man with the name of the marquee. He is the host with the most. He has the second largest arms on the pod. Well, actually, I don't know. Our guest has some pretty large arms. We may have to have a bicep contest. Number 7 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, the sexiest man in the world, Mr. Johnny Petraglia Jr. What up, JP? 9 minutes and you're here.
Finally brought you in. Right here, Rob. I found it. This is where it's been.
Chicken necks, buddy. Chicken necks.
I'm actually with Nico this week. Damn, Rob. That was a nice intro.
Oh, thanks, dude.
I missed you dearly last week. I hope everything went well with your family.
Yes, sir. We had a great time watching fireworks at our church.
At the family reunion, the Donkey Kong family reunion.
That's right.
And we went to Indy this past weekend. First time going to Indianapolis area. We went to Carmel, Indiana. We went to a water park there, which was fantastic. They have the world's largest children's museum in Indianapolis. We went and saw the Brickyard, at the Indy 500. We went and saw the Lucas Oil Stadium, the football stadium. It was a good time. We had a good day. We had a good weekend. All right, what's going on with you, John? We haven't caught up.
Still, enjoying a lot more bowling this summer for me. Been actually in 3 summer leagues, and contrary to like the last decade of my life when I never bowled at all in the summer, if anything, maybe 1 league, and that's even subbing here and there. Been like full-blown bowling mode this year, seemingly. So I've been spending a lot more hours in the lanes recently. So I'm more up to date with the new balls, the new layouts, what's going on with sport patterns, all that shit. So hell yeah. What's up, G? Yes, I've definitely got the. I'm not gonna go too much, but the sneaky chicken is here. His name is Lucas. But no, bowling's been going really, really great. Teams are all bowling well. Getting back out to Pennsylvania this weekend. Going to go see Steph and Eric and bowl in Eric's event. So, yeah, just in general, everything is really just top notch right now.
Good. It's good to hear. Is this the 5th annual Michael Marcus, I think?
I believe so.
It's either 5th or 6th. I just reposted something that Steph had posted on Facebook that is coming up here. So anybody wants to check it out, it's the Michael Marcus Memorial Tournament coming up here. I didn't realize it was this weekend already.
No,
that's crazy.
That's not the Memorial Tournament doesn't take place until later in the year.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure.
To run a tournament series either bi-monthly.
That's right. You'd think I would have all my facts.
No, you know what? It's okay because I haven't been up their way, and it seems like about a year now. So it's been quite some time since I was up there to even bowl any normal weekend event. I just want to go up there and see them, honestly.
No, that's fair. By the way, August 1st at noon is the Michael Marcus Memorial Tournament. It is the 5th annual. So check that out if anybody wants to get involved, either donating prizes for giveaways and 50-50 raffles, or if you want to participate in the tournament, go hit up Eric Hodorowski or Stephanie Sheridan. So anyways, let's bring in our very special guest. I don't have a video for him because, apparently some people know who he is. Apparently Tom Hess and Chris Barnes and wonderful Parker. By the way, shout out to Parker for winning a tournament at the PBA50 World Series of Bowling. He won the Wayne Webb pattern. So and he's been on fire. Amleto too. Amleto has had a fantastic week. We got Tom Hess and we got JJ, John Janowitz, going for the first ever PBA50 Super Slam coming up. So we're looking forward to that too. Both those guys are fantastic. But anyways, our special guest recently took, I guess it was like an ancestry.com deal to find out his heritage, and found out that he is apparently related to Dr. Ocho, his long-lost cousin. I think it's fascinating stuff. Whenever you find, families reunited, it just tugs at the heartstrings. I'm looking forward to hearing what happens. So let's bring him in, the one and only. I guess there literally is the one and only Cousin Cinco. What's going on, Cousin Cinco? Welcome to Straight Up 5.
What's happening, fellas?
Cinco.
Yeah, it was 23 and me. You no neck son of a gun.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, 23 and me. That's
because
my
that's the size of Ocho's arms. So
yeah.
That's the only one I'm involved in. But this is where I think
I can see the family resemblance. Look at the guns.
So I'm already disavowing this whole thing. I'm going to go make sure, because my family tree is very straight.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that a lot.
Inbred arms, buddy. I'm not sure. I'll do my research. I got my team.
Well, obviously he's got this relatively same mass. He's got a 5 on it.
He's doing this gimmick here, pushing them up and all that.
You can't prove it. You can't prove that.
The ancestry test knows this already.
Yeah.
Hey, Troy, what's up, buddy?
Troy's more closely related to me than this chucklehead.
Troy looks a great dude.
Where's Maury Povich?
Is this his real voice? This is sounding awfully silly here. What the hell's going on?
I don't know. I'm related to you. I got the arms. I got the voice.
I sound normal.
It's
what
very
are you
similar.
talking about? Doing this stupid voice all the time. Who the hell is this
I don't know. What are you talking about?
What the frig is going on? I'm out of here.
What the frig's going on?
son of a bitch. We have an integrity show here with good guests. We don't have idiots with masks on the show. What the frig? What are we succumbing to?
I haven't succumbed in a while. It's been a couple weeks.
Mask?
But,
What mask? Yeah, I don't have a mask. That's a tattoo right there, baby. Tattooed.
So tell our community a little bit about cousin Cinco.
Well, like I said, I've been watching the show for a while, and one of my buddies got me a 23andMe deal, and I put it together and sent it off, and then all of a sudden I got a picture of this guy right here with a, and I was like, yeah, I can see the resemblance in it. The colors might be a little different, but hey, I can see it.
A little. Oh, yeah, I'll give you that.
we're all the same color on the inside. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, it's riveting stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, again, whenever we could, reunite family members,
right?
I'm all.
No, you're just a distant cousin.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
How distant?
Something
physique-wise, very distant too. I see.
All right.
Okay.
And did you average 184 at a house shot like Ocho did? Are you that good in bowling?
Back when I was 15, baby.
Aha! See, so you've lost your touch. See, this is more evidence in my favor.
Okay.
So from what Parker and Tom said, I mean, he is a member of the
They
PBA50
paid his
tour, but
$200 or whatever. They need anybody on there. You kidding me?
That's fair.
I averaged 200, and I bowled in a league. I've got my USBC card, and I'm eligible.
Did you use the bumpers?
I have.
I do too. Still, all right. So there's another.
I mean,
okay, all right. You're 2 for 40 right now. 2 for 80.
I'm telling you, there's something there.
I'm not liking this.
I can't
I'm not
put my
liking
finger
this
on it.
friggin' tomfoolery here.
Ocho, why can't you believe that this guy is related to you?
Because I know who's related to me. Because they all borrow money from me, and I'm shocked that this clown hasn't borrowed money. I shouldn't have said that. Son of a.
I mean, not yet.
Shit.
Yeah.
Now here it
we
comes.
all know you're
Bowling
loaded.
dues. I got a tournament. The sponsor pulled out. I need
Hey, big man, let me hold it.
Mask.
Hey, big man, let me hold $1.
Some of the family didn't pull out, and that's why he's here. So
Let me hold $1.
Yeah.
No check.
I got some pot games going on up here in Michigan.
No, I bet he saw me at Nationals a few years ago when I stayed with JP and was like, I know. That's a guy. That's a guy who knows his shit. He's got it going on. Let me figure out a way to weasel into his life. And
Sperone says at least cousin Cinco can afford sleeves on
my
his shirt.
sleeves are there until I put the shirt on. It's not I don't fault the sleeves for falling off. If you were a sleeve, would you be tucked on this? No, it would pop off within seconds. Clearly,
All right.
No, not at all.
Especially on my medium express shirts.
Yeah, I support the brands too, baby.
See, he's a Brunswick guy too. Come on, man.
Right.
This guy, all right. So hold on. Let me just ask you a little bit of your heritage then, cousin Cinco. Are you by any chance a Mexican Italian luchador?
In a previous life, yeah.
Okay, so
I have come off a top rope once or twice.
All right, 3. Okay, 3 times. All right.
Okay, that's 3. Yeah, I mean, all right. So where are you from originally?
Virginia. Well, actually, I was born in California, and then moved to Virginia, and now I'm deeply rooted in the South.
You see, normally they're all from Ochoville too, so that's I'm taking the third one away. He's back down to.
Well, I mean, you lived in Atlanta for a while, Oach. I mean, there's that connection.
That didn't happen.
All right.
Well, whatever.
Besides the alimony payments, that didn't happen.
Johnny, you got any? I don't know where to go with this. I mean, Ocho was just stonewalling him. He obviously doesn't want to.
I got to digest this here. I mean, we're unfettered right now. Ocho's unfettered. You're unfettered. This whole fucking thing is unfettered. We're not supposed to swear. You bring this freaking chuck wagon on here. I'm supposed to digest this, knowing who my like.
And I'm not really sure what to say because I don't really even know what we're talking about at this point. So I'm just kind of listening.
Oh, you think we do?
Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to connect with my cousin here.
Yeah. So after we're done connecting, I guess I would like to know some bowling stuff from cousin Sink at a.
Yeah. Do you? So he bowls. He bowls over 180. I know that.
Yeah.
He bowls. He averages at least 200.
Absolutely.
He has his PBA50 card. He knows. Look, he knows Barnes and Bone and Hess. I mean, this guy's a player.
I actually get to bowl with Chris Barnes this week.
How many schmucks get the bowl with Chris? Well, all right, that's no.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's going to be great.
So, all right, well, we better get some action shots during the week with
do.
the mask.
I do.
Just so it can be proven, because I'm still the greatest masked bowler on the planet.
Hey, I will give you this.
Mask.
I will give you this. Parker did say he liked you a little bit better than me. So.
He did. Parker's
very nice to whoever he's standing next to. If you and I were hanging from a cliff, well, probably he'd let me fall because I weigh more, because I got more muscle and I'm more dense. But so that kind of sucks for me.
Fair.
Never mind.
That's fair.
Bad analogy.
No, that's fair.
If you were throwing darts,
well, Parker did admit, Ocho, that you.
Yeah.
Parker admitted that you know a lot, but when it comes to bowling on the
I know
PBA50
everything.
Tour, which obviously you're not a member.
I know everything. Has been pointed out for the last year and a half, from the law, the government, to everything but bowling.
Hold on, Och. We got BSJ83 chiming in. Welcome back to the show. I haven't seen you in a while. To make things perfect, we should get Chad Ocho Cinco on the show. Maybe he's related too.
I agree.
More people ripping off my shit? God damn it.
Were you Ocho before Chad Johnson was Ocho Cinco?
I was Ocho before Ocho was Ocho.
Didn't Chris Jericho try to steal your gimmick? Didn't he call him like the...
Besides dodgeball, I'm Ocho.
All right.
What did Jericho name himself? Wasn't he like Nueve
He
or
stopped
some
tweeting
shit?
because of me, because I flamed him so much.
Anyways.
All right, Rob, where are we going with this now? Clearly, I'm related to myself.
I mean, Ocho, can you prove that he's not related to you?
I'm doing it right now.
I mean, he's literally got the test to prove that he's part of your family.
He's clearly not on test, because, I mean, with arms like that, no way is he on test. Is that what you said?
No, I'm not on.
No, okay.
I'm all natural.
All right,
natural.
there's three now. Okay, there's three. He's back in.
Yeah.
That's.
You know what? I don't want this imposter on anymore. I'm leaving until this freaking cuck reveals himself. I'm out of here. Tell you what, I'm done. I don't need this shit.
It looks like we lost Ocho momentarily.
I don't know if he's coming.
I don't think he is either.
But, he can come back. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I guess. All right, John. I guess you and I will just
wardrobe change. Obviously, the depth of Cousin Cinco on the PBA Senior Tour. A little bit of insight from all walks of it out there for anybody that's interested.
Is he coming back or no?
Of course, he's coming back at some point.
All right,
Ocho, get back here, dumbass. Who just walks off the show?
Hey.
Seriously.
Apparently, Ocho.
He's angry about the impostership.
Yeah, well.
I guess I get. I mean, can you imagine living? I don't even know how old he is. He's like ageless and timeless. Can you imagine just living on the planet?
This at least gives me a minute to talk about something that I would like to say real quick as far as the bowling. Never mind. The James Vanderpeaks have returned.
Yeah, go ahead, John. You had a thought. I don't want you to lose.
No, it's actually about the Brands of Brunswick. And I always wanted to throw a red pulse back in the mid-'90s when it was actually Columbia ball. And I was never allowed to because Brunswick, from the day I was born. But I did drill the recreation of the Columbia Pulse and opened 279, 278 out of the gates with it. And it felt really, really cool to throw a Pulse. Not to mention it's a lot of ball, I'm assuming, for the price point. I haven't really checked the price point yet. A lot of ball.
It looked pretty good today out there on the lanes.
Yeah, very, very versatile surface.
Why is his voice different?
All right, you ready there, Oach? You guys said I'd never get on the show.
How the fuck did this fucking guy get on the fucking show? Son of a bitch!
Said I'd never make it on the show. Here I am.
See you later, Oach.
Broke my headphone.
Welcome to the show.
At least I was right. That's the point.
Yeah. Me and Oach do have something in common, though. Our dads served proudly in the U.S. Navy.
Yes, I mean, unfortunately, they're a row apart from each other. Literally a row apart.
Yep.
If I see my dad's grave, I got to go up and to the right one freaking row, and I see his dad. It's crazy shit.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, we don't brag about shit like that. I mean, it's
No,
like,
what are the odds
Yeah.
of really just the odds of that? My goodness.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they
no
passed-
kidding. It
they-
was just it was a
yeah.
Father's Day thing, and like he was like, "Hey, man, right there," and I see the Z, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I've walked over his dad so many times.
Yeah.
Not being funny about it, like just literally trying to get to my own.
Yeah, they.
Hold on. Ocho, did you set this shit up?
Not me, man. I didn't even know he was getting on the show. I thought he was banned for life, like Tommy Dreamer never winning the freaking ECW title.
Meanwhile, y'all are really upset about finding out this guy's on the show. Meanwhile, John, maybe I should remember to take my tape off my wrist.
No, it's good tan.
Holy mackerel!
Good tan, buddy.
It's like, this is all right, but guys,
You look like Wonder Woman right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can literally hit fucking lasers with that spot.
Yeah. I'm actually going to make it more now.
Chuck Richey. In our open every week, it's
Unreal.
a running joke that you would never be
Unreal.
on the show,
Bamboozled you.
and you're here.
Bamboozled
And
y'all.
we fell for it. I can't. They didn't put it past me. They went with their own thing. Said, "Oh, we got a great guest." I said, "All right, I trust you. I'll never do that again."
Look, when I get a guy that messages me on Facebook and says, "Hey, I'm cousin Cinco. I'm Dr. Ocho's cousin," I'm like, fuck it, you got to be on the
That's
show.
right.
Yeah, I mean, why do any vetting?
No.
Nico, I had no idea. I thought this was.
I bamboozled him.
It's a fucking Scooby Doo thing.
Yeah, I mean, show him the picture I sent. I just sent, hey, I'm related to Ocho. You want to find out about it? Put me on the show.
Now it all makes at least a little bit more sense to me, because at first I didn't really know what was happening. It's kind of why I got a little bit quiet there.
Yeah.
And now the legend appears. Hello.
Ah, there ain't no legend here.
John, I can't imagine. you didn't know what's
PBA50
going
tour
on,
winner,
John.
man.
Rob, nice neck.
Wherever he
Kinda
may
like-
be.
I kind of like the chicken neck better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, does your neck identify as a neck or as like a weight support?
Oh, fuck off.
Like, we're progressive here too, man.
So, Chuck.
So let me pull up the
while he's
picture. Like,
pulling up,
so,
while he's
hold
pulling
on.
up the picture, how's it going out on the tour, on the senior tour this year?
It's been a little bit of a struggle for me so far. I have cashed a couple times. Made it at the Villages. I made it to the cashers round, and I missed making match play by 8 pins.
Oof.
That sucks.
Pins, Ocho.
Yeah, went
shocker.
to the Masters. Struggled the first day. Went like plus 32. Struggled the second day, plus 32, and I had no problem getting to the pocket. Couldn't get all 10 to fall. Then I go 230 over the next day, and I still missed a cut. So
Oh my.
went home from there. I'm missing something a little. I'm not throwing it bad. I'm making the shots. I'm getting to the pocket. I just can't get all 10 to fall.
Your back holding up though too, or is
Something.
I know you were timid almost a little bit, not wanting to let it go a little bit for a while.
Yeah, when I came home from the Florida swing, we're getting ready to remodel our house, and I went to move some furniture, popped my back, so I ended up missing a tournament, and then I was iffy. I was going to even make it to Vegas, but we made it to Vegas. It took me a day. It took me a little bit longer just to get loose. And by the time I got loose, I was already in a hole, and I had to dig myself out of the hole. But, it's a couple of days. And then when I had the late squad, I had all day to get loose, and I was in there, and I did pretty well. I went 220, 230 over, or something like that for that blocker.
So there is a
games.
difference when you have the later block, when you got time to really get your stretching regimen in and everything. And
Yeah. I have B squad this week, so we don't start till 4 o'clock. Well, I actually have it every other day. So tomorrow's 4 o'clock. I got all day to stretch. Then the next day, 8:30 roll call. So I'm in there while he's calling my name. I'm stretching and trying to get loose and stuff. But I got to get a couple of shots in to start going. Usually takes me
Well, after the back injury, it took me almost 2 games to get loose and comfortable. Now, I once we get done with practice, I feel pretty good. So
So
the back's
that's
getting pretty good.
regardless of what your routine is, right? Even though you can
Yeah.
go in, do your stretches, get
Hmm.
the blood flow, do your biofreeze and everything,
Right.
you would need a game or two, and then now you're at least ready to go so you're not hindered by any squad that without having
Yeah.
time to get everything limbered up. I mean, what people don't understand is the miles that you guys have, the
Hmm.
asymmetrical miles, and all it could take is just your footwork being off to wrench
Just a
that shit
bit.
up, and then you're
Yeah.
guarded in your own head, because if
Yeah.
you're not swinging free, you're already timid. You're gonna get 100 less revs that you thought you were gonna get.
Yeah. Yeah. It's if I can't get loose, then I'm stiff at the foul line. I'm not fluid. I'm cutting my swing off a little bit,
Yeah,
and then
stopping
once
short a lot. Yeah.
stopping
Can you tell
shorts.
instantly? Like, can you tell?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
I can feel as soon as I'll get up and one shot. All it takes is one shot, and I completely come through the whole shot, and I feel the
I'm
fluidity
good.
of it, and then I'm good after that. So, you know, but now I mean, the back's healed up enough that I go in there, we get the 10, 15 minutes of practice to get ready. First ball out the gate, I'm feeling pretty good. So, you know, I've been
That's
doing
already
the
a step. That's already, I don't want to say a
yeah.
milestone, but that's progression for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I went to a chiropractor a couple times. He got me straight, and he said my problem was my hips were off,
Mm-hmm.
and
As every
that's when
bowler's is, because it's a one-sided thing.
right.
We all know
So
you're lying.
he's given me all kinds of exercise to do. I try to keep up with them, do them as much as possible, and so it's been helping. It's been helping. I feel pretty good this week. The practice session went great today. So
Chuckles, I have an off-the-wall bowling question.
okay.
I've never asked anybody in the history of this show.
No,
I'm still pissed.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, Rob.
You're
I still
on
love
the,
you.
You're on the swing. You're on tour, right? So you
Yeah.
said your home is you said you're buried in the deep south?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. So you're going out on tour week to week. Let's say you miss a cut, right? And now you've got, say, 4 or 5 days before the next event, 3 or 4 days, whatever it may be. What is the driving distance, either mileage or hours wise, that you say, okay, I'm going to drive home for a few days rather than maybe hanging out those few days and then just going straight to the next stop? Is there is there a number, or is
this is the best question in a year on Straight Up 5. This is what people want to know.
10 hours.
10 hours? Okay.
Yeah. In my previous life before I started bowling full time, I was a truck driver.
Gotcha.
Oh, so that's funny. I'm a 10-hour and under too, but in the South, it's easier driving than up in the North, though. So that's got to make some change for you.
The North isn't bad. The South isn't bad. The Midwest is the worst.
Yeah. And
you don't see anything but cornfields.
There's nothing.
That stuff.
You're lucky to see a Loves.
Yeah.
Indiana to Iowa. Just
my number in Vegas was about 7 because that was about the drive to Reno. So my number was always about 7 hours, or like in the tri-state area up here, it's like getting to Baltimore maybe, is pushing it. Somewhere in Virginia from here, like that 4 to 5 hour range.
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours shit. That makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on how long the break is in between. If it's only like 2 or 3 days, I'm heading towards the next stop. I'll get a hotel room and then wait. My wife books Airbnbs for me because I'm not a big hotel guy.
Right.
So, I'll do something like that. But if I've got like 4, 5, 6 days, 10 hours, I'm gonna head home for a couple of days.
Cool.
I got more proof he's not related to me because he didn't mention one word about hookers. So that means he's definitely not related to me. So we've just completed the circle of life.
I used to have on the last rig that I drove, I had a big sticker said no lot lizards.
You know what? I bet you the show we'd have watching what he saw staring out the window, because I know you truckers communicate and say, some chick is keeping us awake, they used to say. As they, drop
I've
them out.
seen some of that.
So
I've seen a lot of that. It was
and they're doing the public a service because they're keeping you guys awake. That's
Oh yeah,
smart.
gives us something to look forward to. We keep looking in that side mirror, waiting for him to
So
come
you're
up.
like, oh man, here comes that Mustang with that chick.
Also looking forward to the monthly STD. So
As long as they stay in their car and I'm in my truck, I'm good.
So I'm gonna geek out and nerd out then if we're gonna talk trucks, because I've been a dispatcher in the freight business since 2005.
Okay.
So we have a lot in common. I haven't been on your side. I haven't driven a truck. Well, I've driven a straight truck and a van, but I haven't been in a big rig. But I right now, for the last 9 years, I've been dispatching over the road guys and mostly full truckload stuff. So what kind of truck did you have?
I had a Volvo. Those are very dependable. I drove a Peterbilt for a little bit, always in the shop. And then the company.
Freightliner's probably the worst, right?
Freightliners, the smaller trucks were good. The city trucks were good. The long distance trucks, no. Yeah, and then the company I drove for, they started bringing in Volvos, man, and those were the best.
Yeah, most of my fleet have Volvos. I'm a Mac guy. I don't know something about Macs. Just the way they look. I don't know. I don't know if they're worth a shit. I just love the way they look.
I like Macs too. The only thing I didn't like was the transmissions were just a little. When you go from the low gears to the high gears, that transition, man, it almost feels like you're dropping the transmission every time you do it.
Interesting. Most of my guys don't want to go to California and they don't want to go to the Northeast. They refuse to go. Yeah, especially New York. They don't like the.
I pulled an 18-wheeler down through the Bronx one time. Talk about
get the fuck out of here! Really?
Talk about hairy and scary. Yes.
I don't want to drive a smart car in New York.
Yeah.
I don't want to ride a bicycle in New York, let alone.
Right.
I never did go as far. The farthest west I ever went to was Mississippi. So I never went to the West Coast. I was southeast.
Too many rules and regulations in California. In fact, a lot of the issues is California regulates what year truck you can have, and there's a lot of trucks they won't let into the state. But it's all.
Shoot, at one time you had to have a designation on your license to drive in the state of California, and that was that was a lot of money. And so I was we were southeast. We were Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia.
That's pretty much what we do. Anywhere in the Mid-South, and Chicago's probably the farthest north that we go, if you consider that north. But anyway, so bowling. You don't have to tell the story, but I'd really like you to kind of, I don't want you to bury anybody, but I want you to kind of talk about what happened with you in Bowl TV, because when this show first kind of started, you've been a supporter since day one, obviously, which we appreciate, and you've gotten us a lot of great guests. But you were part of Bowl TV, and you were going to promote our show, and then all of a sudden, I think it was not even like a week later or so, you were let go.
I was told.
Do you want to talk about it?
I can. I don't want to go into too much specifics, but
you don't have to. I found.
I shot myself in the foot, so to say, but I didn't think I did. I felt like I was standing up for some PBA guys, and apparently a post that I made, just making a suggestion and basically making a talking point, conversation point. And some people,
which everyone does, by the way. Like, you're not the only.
Yeah.
I guess maybe.
And it was just, it was an idea, to help some of these guys who actually bowled for a living. And, some people thought that I was attacking the PBA, and we had just signed that contract with Bowl TV and PBA and all that. And I get their side of the story. I get their side of it. The only thing that bothers me is I think that I was just misinterpreted. They just misinterpreted what I was trying to say. And they just, at first they were suspending me, and then like a week later, they just decided to cut ties with me, which is fine. I'm still friends with all of them, and so it is what it is. I enjoyed it. It was one of the best years of my life. I got to see the stars of tomorrow on a weekly basis, and then I got to actually compete and worked for Bowl TV at the same time, which made the travel, a lot better on me. And, I got to see a lot of places. I got to go, I got to go back to Springfield, Missouri, where my dad's from. Never saw my grandmother's grave. I had a chance to go out and visit her grave and stuff like that, and it was one of the greatest times of my life. I was gone a lot, which I didn't like, but they made me feel at home, and it was fun. It was fun.
I couldn't agree with you more, Chuck. I think about it too. I only bowled not even a full year on tour, but I was out there with rooming with Ryan Simonelli his rookie season.
And my boy.
And I'm just thinking about the years between the travel and college bowling from Morehead State, and just those few years on tour. It's like I start thinking about everywhere and everything I've done. It's like, yeah, I saw Cal Ripken break Lou Gehrig's streak record in a skybox at Camden Yards. I stopped by the St. Louis Arch and went up the top of it on the scariest contraption I've ever been on.
Yeah.
Stopped at the Big Texan in Amarillo to eat a 72-ounce steak. I had breakfast sitting next to Hope Solo at Shutters on the beach in Venice. I mean, like, it's all this shit is happening because I'm always somewhere and brought there by bowling. And it's cool that you're mentioning all the ties, and then especially with the travel, the people in all these places. You could drive across the country and have a home cooked meal with virtually family anywhere in the continental U.S. It's pretty cool, and Val said, priceless times.
It was priceless. I mean, we had this thing going when we started. When I started with them, I worked the RPI, and then I worked the first couple, and then I just out of the blue I said, "Who thinks that I should bowl the Players Championship at Carolier?" And man, the outpouring. I was like, if I can get 50 people to say do it, and I signed up. I got to bowl the PTQ. I missed it by 8 pins making the field. I got to cross with Dallas Leong and left-hander. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Nate Stubler. And I had a blast. And then missed by 8 pins. I got to sit in the booth and watch all that.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. It was one of the times while we were there, the whole group, we went over, took a day after setup. We went over to New York City. Saw the 9/11 play, all that, and did that stuff. We went to baseball games. When we were in Milwaukee, we went to a baseball game. We did all kinds of stuff. Florida, we went and saw a couple of minor league games.
I would think being able to go into the booth right after a block, whether it be good or bad, would be a really, really good way to kind of decompress.
Absolutely. But and I'm telling you right now, if I was on a later squad, I used that time to watch what was going on. I was prepared. And I actually bowled well that year because I was prepared. I was seeing what was going on the lanes. And then I would come in and I had a game plan, and I went to the game plan and it worked a lot of times. So, and then after I got done with it, they could ask me the questions. Well, what did you see? Well, I saw, that the shim kept moving, every 3 or 4 frames. You had to stay on top of, stuff like that. I had that fresh in my mind that I could give people a better perspective of what was going on while that squad was bowling. If I had bowled the squad before them, and then I could tell them, well, this squad, they're playing a little bit too far left to start. They should have been a little bit further right, but stuff like that.
I've always preferred that way of managing my time too. It's like I would rather when I'm not weightlifting, I love bodybuilding. I would rather get my information from Jay Cutler, from Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, than any doctor that's going to say, well, if you have this kind of protein compared to this kind, or you'll be more out of I understand all the clinical studies, but I want to get it from the guy that went through it. I want to get it from the guy that had to buy a whole cow at a time and store it in the freezer. I want to know what he did and what did work, what didn't work, what he focused on.
Right.
If I'm watching you bowl and you go out and you're on the bubble for the cut, and then you come in and you're telling me, I feel like now I have a double dose of confidence because now I watched what you're saying put into effect.
Yeah.
And I'm watching what goes wrong when it's not executed properly and what goes right when it is.
Right.
And that's the
Yeah.
best way to teach.
You know, and I'm telling, I tell the audience, well, what was Chris Barnes throwing right there? Oh, he was throwing a Zen, or this and that. I knew the balls that they were throwing. I could tell the people when they're asking in the chat.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I was using it to help myself, but I was also using it to give back to everybody in the chat and whoever's watching, the information. That's why Tom Hess is so good in there, because when he's in there, he's bolded. He knows it. He's been there and he's done that,
Yes.
So, and then now with Jim Callahan in there, he's watched it for years. I mean, he's been behind some of the best bowlers on tour. So
Right.
he sees what's going on too, and he can relay it. So I think Jim's a really good addition to that panel there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And very, very knowledgeable, Jim. Always was.
Absolutely.
By the way, Chuck, congrats on your win, brother, this year. Finally,
Thanks.
getting
Finally.
a win. The Lucky Strike Greensboro, man. That's I mean, you haven't bowled poorly. But like you said, it just hasn't all clicked for whatever reason. But this year, I mean, it is. So that's we're proud of you.
Yeah. It finally, I mean, 5 second place finishes leading up to that finally broke through. I mean, I've won some big scratch tournaments up and down the East Coast over the years, but the PBA title was something I always wanted, and I get to actually bowl an extra tournament on the national tour this year with the TOC. So
there you go.
I'm excited about that. So
that is awesome.
Yeah. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Chuck, what are you finding what bowling balls are producing the best motions, or what are the best motions for what's out there this season? We had a couple guys from the regular tour say that this year was actually a little bit better to go around it as opposed to years past. We're seeing it up the lane was a little bit better. But what are you seeing out there seems to be the way to skin the cat. And as far as, at least for you with the brands of Brunswick, what balls seem to be
Rob,
the magic ones? Mr.
Hey, yeah.
My
Robert, I still got that trading card you gave me there, buddy. Well, I'm seeing the funny thing about this year is A-stems are not working on for some reason. They're not looking great out there. Symmetrical balls have been working a little bit better for most of the guys out there. Of course, I like throwing A-stems, so I'm hard-headed and I throw them a lot. So
that's me too. Symmetrical shit.
Yeah. So for some reason, they just don't seem to be working as well this year. But the guys are still throwing the big cores with surface, and then they're throwing the shiny stuff. And right now, the balls that I like are the stealth mode, the effector. I'm one of the few people in this world who like the theorem pearl.
Interesting. That's the blue one, right?
Yeah. I like that ball, and I threw it at the U.S. Open out in Colorado, and I was throwing it warm-ups, and Tom Carter walks by and he stopped and he looked at me, did a double take, and he goes, "Is that a theorem pearl?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You might be the only bowler in this state that has one." I'm like,
it's
it
funny.
Works.
I've only seen one in New Jersey. My buddy Scott Ettinger drilled one up at Majestic Lanes. It's the only one I've seen. I had the original theorem, which everybody loved, and for me,
I love that one too.
For me, that ball went sideways, so I didn't even think about drilling the pearl. Now, I might consider drilling the solid that just came out. My buddy Hansel Javier was throwing it when we bowled Dougie's tournament in Delaware. But no, I'll tell you the symmetrical ball I was saying earlier before the show started that I'm falling in love with already is the Pulse. I think
that Pulse. Gary Faulkner's like right over there.
Yeah,
he threw his in practice today on a couple of the patterns, and that ball looks good.
Yeah,
it's very controllable. It's not real big off the back end. It knows when to slow down. It knows when to go. I mean, it looks really good. I may hit the truck up this week for one of those.
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, Chuck, the other ball. Hey, Raj, we were talking about you, mainly Rob, but sending love from all of us, and hope the healing gets quick. And I saw a picture of your face. And I guess if I could bring a little humor into the situation, if anybody can take a beating like that, I'm sure you probably don't even feel it. So love you, brother. Take care of yourself. But sorry, Chuck. Yeah.
No, you're good.
We were talking about the pulse. What the hell were we talking about?
You said when you went to the pulse, you were getting ready to talk about another ball.
I was. Shit.
You said something about the Theorem Solid.
Yeah, that my buddy was throwing it, but no, that's okay. I'll get back to it. We were talking about.
I'll tell you a ball that I think you might like, and that's that Combat.
I did drill that. I like that ball too.
Yeah.
That ball comes back from anywhere, and I expect it to go sideways, but it stops going sideways, and it's predictable. But I tell you what I did pick up when I'm like, the Effect Tour is one of my favorite balls, and I have one that is so oil soaked it's ridiculous. It rolls a smidge more than say like a New Blue Hammer now. That's how loaded up it is, but it's my go-to. But what I did order was one of our new Rhinos, that black and purple one.
Yeah. They did something with the cover, some new chemical or whatever they added to it, and it's supposed to be stronger than any of the other ones.
It's a new chemical, and they finished it at 3,000 without the compound polish and the other finish of all the other Rhinos.
Yeah.
So I saw Graham Fa throw it on TV, and I went, "Whoa, that kind of looks a little more than urethane, but not as sensitive as say a twist or a traditional Rhino would be." And again, I'm not talking about the teal Rhino
I know which ones you're talking. Dude, I tell you what,
you don't viewers do.
Yeah, you don't. I'm telling you what, those were some underrated balls. You remember the green and silver one?
The Rhino?
Yeah,
I do.
Back years ago, man, I took that ball up into Mooresville for a team tournament and shot 860 with it.
Nice.
And everybody was like, "What kind of ball?" I was like, "It's just an entry level bowling ball."
The Black Pearl one, the Black Pearl Rhino, was very, very strong. I like that.
Yeah.
And in the twist line, the black, gold, silver twist, that ball's amazing. It's amazing. But I like the idea that, like what Alex just said, he says it's a solid too. I like the idea of less sensitivity, especially on, say, a house shot.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times on a house shot, I'm up against the ball return with my feet anyway, and I don't like to throw urethane on house. So it'd be nice to be able to get my feet, like, I don't know, a little bit further left.
Yeah.
Does it seem like they release more pearls than solids, or am I just wrong? Am I just making that up?
I think typically per brand they will try and be somewhat sequential. For instance, like if a ball's hitting like the Theorem, they'll make a hybrid solid and a pearl. Sometimes the pearl comes first, sometimes a solid, sometimes the hybrid. I mean, in the case of the Defender line, as a prime example, the original Defender was the solid, and they had the Defender hybrid was second, and then they came out with the Ultimate Defender, which I think was also a hybrid. So in that case, they didn't.
The ratio was a little bit different,
Right.
but yeah, it was a hybrid.
Like, you have the Teal Rhino Pro that's a solid, along with the Ivory Rhino Pro as the pearl. So most of the time, you'll see at least like a couple different versions, or in a case like, say, a High Road, you'll see everyone in existence. The High Road was a hybrid. Then they had the High Road Nazco. Then they had the High Road 40, and they got the High Road Jabroni, and then they got the Take the High Road, and then
the red Theorem that came out, people thought that was a pearl.
Definitely
was a hybrid. Because it looks shiny as hell.
By looking at them, what it was, and now it's getting tricky now.
Were all of the original zones? Those are all solids, right?
No. The first zones that came out, like the original zone that came out in 1994, the first two were called the Red Zone and the Black Amber Zone. The Red Zone was a solid, and the Black Amber Zone was a pearl. And they came out with the Sapphire Zone. That was the dark blue one. That was a solid. And then the Sapphire Zone Pearl. Then you had the Danger Zone and the Black Ice. Then you had the Combat Zone and the Green Tracer. So they would always mix a pearl. Same thing with the Quantums.
I got you. Yeah. You're right. You are just a wealth of bowling balls. I can barely remember what the fuck?
I know he blows my mind every time I watch this. Always like bringing up bowling balls I haven't thought about.
It's crazy.
Years.
It's like
Yeah.
Ocho with Steelers shit. It's crazy.
Because I'm a nerd, bro. It's all a bowling nerd.
No, it's all fair.
You just been around it your whole entire life.
True.
Get away from it if I want to.
That's true. Yeah. That's like John Gruden. I just watched a video with Gruden. He just got like a box of swag from Tennessee Tech. He's rattling off like fucking coaches and players from like 20 years. Like the dude, it's sick how much he knows about football. Like it's disgusting. I don't know how he does it. By the way, thank you for getting me that tour effect. I still haven't.
You're welcome.
I still haven't drilled it yet. I have to get around to it. I'm going to get around to it. But I have my new shoes. I got the ball.
Rob, ever a ball I'm begging you to drill when you come back to bowling. You got it. I didn't even know you got an effect tour.
Yeah, Chuck sent me one. So
let me tell you,
nice
people. I'm cutting you off here because this is important, and this is brought to you by my tan line. So it'd be even better if I was playing golf this summer, because then this hand would be paper white.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Love hand. But anyway, everybody always says to me, "Is that a good ball? Is that a great ball?" Yada, yada, yada. And everybody will always say, "I hate that ball. I love that ball. This ball works so good for me," yada, yada. Truth of the matter is, there really is no such thing as a bad bowling ball. There are always times for bowling balls that have a place. Sometimes they're just not the best choice in whatever you may have, right? But then what makes a bowling ball great is when it is just great all the time. And every once in a while, you find a ball that's great all the time, no matter what surface, oil condition, topography, state you're in. I don't care. And balls like that are like Mota's Venom Shock, Tackle Ghost, Storm
NV Tour,
IQ Tour, Original
NV Tour, the NV Tour. I mean, I have 3 of them, and I still throw them to this day.
Exactly. But the Effect Tour for me is like that, where from day one when I drilled it, when it was hook in a box, through extensive resurfacings, and I don't oil extract or detox just because I drill so many bowling balls, but even just like to watch it go from my biggest ball in my bag to my most controlled ball in my bag and still strike, like just still go through the pins amazingly. And I've had this ball now for, I want to say, over a year and a half, and it's still in my bag everywhere I go. That is what makes a bowling ball great. And every bowler knows and has at least 1 or 2 of them. Like, I've got my Attitude Control. That is my urethane baby. I don't care how many people in the world think the Purple Hammer is the greatest urethane ball ever. For me, it's not. The Attitude Control is. And that's
that was a good one.
Yeah, if I have an Attitude Control and an Effect Tour, I can go bowl a tournament. Charlie Tap, bada bing.
Orange dinosaur.
Oh, God. Tapsters.
Yeah, Gene, you like that ball. Gene loved that ball. He still loves it. I think he still throws it. It's got 8,000 games on it.
When I was in the shop, and with all the big shops in Vegas, I mean, we had a lot of those Mission Unknowns. We did have some people pull the red ones and the gold ones. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a good friend of mine actually stockpiled them. And I believe, I'm not going to put his name out here, but I know for a fact that he has 4 cases of those gold unknowns.
That's like PD with the tropicals.
That is no joke.
Yeah.
I cannot say another word about it.
John Rakoski with his NV Tours. He's got a couple of cases stowed away.
Well, it's a good thing that he did, because I just recently saw that we are saying goodbye to. Oh, I'm sorry. No, the Pure Envy is going away. The NV Tour has been discontinued, right?
Yeah. They a few months ago.
Yes.
It was a sad day in Hammerland.
It was. I never gave that ball. I never gave it what it needed. I drilled my NV Tour when I was still out in Vegas before I came back to Jersey, and it rolled well, but it was actually a little. At that point, we had been doing most of our bowling even league inside the plaza at South Point, and those heads were so clean there and so easy to the ball through the front. I didn't need something as pure as the NV Tour. I needed something with a little more teeth in that building, or a T-zone up 5 and average 246 for a season.
Oh yeah, that's amazing, dude. That is amazing. T-zone. Made money with that ball, didn't you?
Johnny loves that ball, man.
T-zone, man. I definitely had my fun at South Point with the attitude control and the T-zone. I still think I hold the 7-game record in South Point. I shot.
No doubt, because I mean, how are the lanes going to change with you throwing a T-zone?
Well, no. This was actually the tournament I bowled was called the 777 tournament. I was on the pair with Anthony Simonson was on my pair, and it was just 7 games total pins. David Haynes was to my right, and I can't remember who was to my left, but it was somebody good. And I went 1904 for 7, plus 504 for 7. So I averaged just over 272 for the 7 games. That was a fun day.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Johnny, have you drilled the torpedo direct hit?
Yes.
That will get you left.
See, for me, that ball hooked off the lane, Chuck, not going to lie. I bowled 300 with it at Majestic about a month ago because I had to get so far in and I needed something that still popped down lane. And no joke, my buddy Dave Kramarski, a lefty two-hander that bowls in the exact same league, wanted to try 14 pounds. I gave him that torpedo direct hit. He comes back to me and goes, John, I don't really know how to say this, but is there any chance maybe you could give me a 14-pounder to try that's resin? And I said to him, I'm like, Dave, this is resin. It's just a lower end resin. He goes, well, for me, my plastic ball hooks more than it. Yeah. So as quick as I got rid of that ball is exactly what the conversation we're having right now. Jesus. I still don't know what that ball is because for me, I'm always further in than any other ball I've got. Always.
I drilled one up and I throw it on all the short patterns. People are throwing black hammers and IQ 78s, and I'm throwing that ball.
I would use my torpedo direct hit on a short pattern if I was shooting the 10-pin.
Jesus, wow.
I would play like I'm on Cheetah and make my 10 pins with it. Probably.
Take your thumb out of it, Chuck.
I mean, that
maybe that's what I got to do.
I wish I'm not sure if anybody filmed my 300. This was towards the end of the winter. No, I drilled this. Yeah, it was towards the end of our winter season, so it had to be sometime in May or whatever. I'll see if anybody's got the video. But yeah, mine, and I put the same layout in it that I do for virtually all of my house ball bags.
Yeah,
I use a dual angle, and I measure my pap from the center of my fingers. So I'm 5 inches straight across, and I go front angle 70 degrees. Pin distance is usually 2.5 to 3, and the back angle is about 30. Puts my pin up around 11 o'clock, and it inverts the mass bias where it's like in the center of my palm. So it's coming towards my palm. I just, for some reason, that works. Anyway, now I'm getting too technical and stupid and too much about me. And this is about cousin Cinco and this huge cock. Yeah. All right.
Ocho, is it raining?
Oh, they did. The Mets game did get rained out in Baltimore. It looks like it may be moving this way.
It's not raining. I'm just sweating so much that it's actually going up and landing on me. I don't want it to land on the computer. So
go jump in the pool again.
Yes.
No, it's too hot.
Chuck,
the pool's too hot.
Ocho gave us a little preview of his summer dive earlier before we went live. But
we had him on camera.
You missed it.
You missed it.
And he
Johnny,
ran across the pool, and me and Rob were like, was he even wearing a bathing suit? Looked like he was skinny dipping.
He's just like clinging on the towel.
I ran across the pool without even getting wet.
Wow.
I hovered.
I'm still
walk on water.
What can Ocho do?
Because you never have any clothing on. So
Johnny's definitely seen more of Ocho than most people want to, at least. So.
Lucky him.
John, if you could be buried with a bowling ball, like one of your most prized possessions.
If you could die soon,
what would it be?
If I could be buried with a bowling ball?
Yeah.
I mean, you can be, so no one's saying you can't.
I mean, what would you choose?
A rubber LT-48.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I thought it was between that or the T-zone, but I was just...
No, it's obviously the first reason's obvious, but I threw... When I was a kid and I was first going up in weight, 14, 15 pounds, and bowling the Junior Bowlers Tour at that time run by Chuck Pisano Jr. out here on the East Coast.
Yep, I was doing that too.
When I was experimenting changing weights, I had taken my thumb out of the ball. Again, this is when I was still playing baseball. and I was practicing with my dad's at Country Lanes in Manalapan. I'll never forget it. And I took the thumb out, and he goes, "Wow, could do that again." Because at that time I had started developing a really, really big figure eight in my backswing. And when I took my thumb out, it went away. It kept my swing dead in line. And I would never, ever come over the top of it. My ball would always be on line. So I started bowling thumbless in junior bowling tournaments just to see how I would fare. But at that time, I didn't have nearly enough speed to throw all the resin balls. And this is like when the new resin balls were like the Monster Bruiser, the Monster Screamer.
Yep.
The shit, like that orange toxic hammer or whatever the hell.
The ones that had a lot of tread.
Yeah. So
they grabbed the lanes back then.
Right. So I'm trying to no thumb like swamp monsters and shit. I'm like, give me a fucking break.
Fucking love that ball.
I find a rubber LT48, and at that time it didn't matter if it had a weight hole and a thumb hole. There could be vacant holes in the ball. And the first one that I found was one that Dad used on. It was sometime in 1979, and he drilled a weight hole on the right-hander's side of the bowling ball. So just imagine, Chuck, you're let's call it an inch weight hole, 2 inches deep, right on your axis. So my track would be rolling between that weight hole and my fingers and thumb hole. I threw that ball, and it worked on every single JBT house from Delaware to, we'll say, New Hampshire. I won 11 JBTs in 2 years, walking in with a rubber LT only, and all my friends from that era could vouch for it. The records could show it. And I would walk in with a 3-ball roller that I never opened and the LT48 on my shoulder, and I would my 7 pins. I would just put my fingers in, and I would dead fish it, and I would just sling the ball at the 7 pin to kill the rubs. And it was the ball to this day. There's a couple of them in the garage for a rainy day, but that's a ball that, aside from the obvious, I also struck that ball for a very long time, all the way up into nationals, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, mine would be a Hammer Doom.
Was that the one?
That was the red and silver one.
The red and silver one.
Yeah, I got that ball. I can't even remember what year, but I got it like 3 weeks before Christmas. In January and February, I shot 800 with it.
I think Ocho just
6 out of 8 weeks.
My God.
That ball was amazing, and then it cracked. And I just, and then I was about to sign with, because that was when Hammer was Hammer. I was about to sign with Brunswick. Chuck Gardner was getting me on board with Brunswick at that time, and then so I never really drilled another one. But that ball, I could not mess with it.
Yeah, there's been some balls, man, throughout the years where it's like, and you know what's crazy is another one that a lot of people have been talking about recently is a lot of people are starting to mention the Ultimate Inferno and the Absolute Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, Brunswick, I know that we tried to re-release.
I had an Ultimate Inferno.
But like, we need one of those balls back, please.
Yeah.
Believe this.
I mean, if they're gonna keep doing that vintage stuff, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah,
guys, at Straight Up 5, you heard it from my mouth first. I hope I'm saying this right, Scott Shearer. But Scott Shearer is my new spirit animal for this post right here.
I had an Attitude 3.
Scott Shearer, Shira.
Fuse Eliminator. Holy mackerel.
Scott just named literally the trifecta of bowling balls right here.
Yeah.
For anybody that ever threw any of these 3 bowling balls, my God. And you are absolutely right, Scott. I would love for them to remake the Fuse Eliminator. That blue ball with the red letters, man. Oh, shit.
That was pretty.
That ball was so great. The last time I think I saw that ball on TV was when Parker made the show at the World Championship in 2003 when Walter Ray won, or when Blaze Bedoya made the show that Randy won at the Pepsi Open at Sproul Lanes in Pennsylvania. It's probably the last time I saw that Fuse Eliminator on TV. Obviously, we know Parker bowled 300 on TV in Reno with the Attitude 3.
Yep.
Combat Zone Tracer, man. Remake that one, Brunswick, please. Please.
Yes.
Doug,
Hey,
what's up, brother?
I'm going to take some time to go up to Muskegon. I'll try and put it in somebody's ear.
Oh, please do.
While I'm
Dougie,
up here, I'm gonna make a little road trip.
Oh yeah,
Dougie, you hang on to that OG Inferno. Let's go. That's great.
I'm still torn between the Teal Rhino Pro and the Forest Green Quantum. I had such good success as a junior bowler with those balls. I can't pick between the two. I mean, they're just great all time ball, and then obviously that's why they re-release them. But they're just great.
Yeah.
They're just great balls. They really.
I got an Attitude 3 for free from Mike Floor, the bartender at Howell Lanes. And then I got an Ultimate Inferno from Ron Peggett.
That's two pretty good gifts.
I
all
averaged
the top shooting
142.
Erie.
I'm just
In Erie in '96, when he lost to Bob Learn, Dad was throwing a fire quantum on that show.
Yeah.
When my dad bowled his 300 in Imperial Lanes in Ohio in '94, was a Forest Green quantum.
Yep.
Great
so
ball.
Fire quantum in Erie, Forest Green, and Imperial Lanes. I know it's in Ohio. Where the hell is Ducat's Imperial Lanes? What city is it in Ohio? Toledo.
Yeah. Yeah. Not far from where I'm at.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you guys are in Michigan for like the next month for the World Series.
Jackson, Michigan for it does. It feels like we're going to be here for a month.
Hey, at least you're there at a beautiful time of year to be there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm there in December for the end of the year meetings with Brunswick.
Dude. No, hey, 2015, I did the Masters in Ashwaubenon Bowling Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It never got across a zero. It was negative the whole week.
Damn.
Never do that again.
Yeah, 9th through the 19th, 2 weeks, a week and a half. But yeah, no, it's the PBA50 World Series of Bowling. You have the you got qualifying. You said starts tomorrow. You got the Ballard pattern, the Monticelli.
Because I think it goes Ballard, Holman, Monticelli, Petraglia.
Is that how it is? Okay. Then
shouldn't an Italian restaurant put out a dish called the Monticelli and the Petraglia? Shouldn't there be like some like, and this could be global.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like make whatever freaking baked ziti and change it up however they want. Make a Monticelli and a freaking Petraglia.
But I would load up on some Monticelli right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm hungry. Shocker, right? I know.
Yeah.
So I asked you before we started, what does it look like when you practice today? If you want to give everybody a heads up of what you saw today.
Oh, we do. Okay, it is Ballard, Monticelli, Petraglia, and then we finish up with Holman. Okay, I was wrong.
Did you not pay the B&B bill or something, or like what?
I don't know.
Something Ocho also never does is not pay his bill.
Right.
Ocho.
Ballard's black hammer. Huh?
Hang on, Ocho. What's up with the umbrella?
It's raining.
I just like hanging out. I'm a big Mary Poppins fan.
Why does it look like you're holding not the umbrella?
I have two. I'm a survivor. I have one for the computer, and I have one for me because I'm always prepared.
Episode brought to you by the Union County Fair. Absolutely nothing compares to the Union County Fair.
Anyways,
Ballard's a short pattern, gonna be a lot of urethane throw. My black camera looked pretty good. I've got two of them. One's pretty strong. The other one, when it kind of starts to burn a little early. Monticelli, the black hammer looked good for a little bit, and then I went into like bigger symmetrical balls. They look good. Petraglia.
Bad luck.
I had a really good look with the Petraglia stuff. I had like 3 or 4 different balls that I could shake.
Supercalifragilistic.
If I get somebody's gonna get struck by lightning because one's got one inside and he's probably out in a thunderstorm.
He's the bad luck one.
Apparently, we're still fucking 6 years old because the first thing somebody said was, "Oh, that's bad luck."
He's the hard luck woman.
Yeah. This is a really nice umbrella, by the way.
Now, Rob is fondling a doll on the show. This is terrible.
Oh, yeah. Thinking.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Now we're are we filibustering now? Is that what this means?
Seriously, like the guy was
Just a
right
little
in
bit.
mid. He just said his black hammer felt so good, and now you guys go and fucking change the dynamic.
It started raining.
Then you got to get a plumber or a roofer.
Oh yeah.
Christ.
All right.
Let me tell you something.
Macho Man, yeah.
Oh, that's a cool toy, man.
So anyway, yeah, he said his black hammer felt really good.
Yep.
In his hand is what he said.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed because it almost, urethane looks good on 3 of the 4 patterns.
Well, is that's got to be somewhat typical when you're bowling multiples in one house, right?
Yeah. I mean, it
and
is
does
a
that
high
change
friction
after
center.
4 games too? Also, I would assume, right?
Oh yeah, it will. It'll change. Some of them will stay there. Like Valor, you can probably stay there 8 games if you can. But
Actually,
you'll the other ones you'll get out of it after a couple of games.
I gotta, because it's such a different throw. I mean, I know you're still letting it go the same. Is it hard to go from urethane to from urethane back to resin where you're jumping 20 boards left and saying I gotta trust it after I've been throwing it this way for so long? You need a few throws to almost like tuck your brain into it.
You got to keep your mind in it, because if you don't, you'll start throwing a resin ball like your urethane ball.
Right,
and you're not gonna get it right.
exactly.
Like I stay up the back of when I'm throwing urethane, I stay up the back of the ball. But when I move left, I've got to come around it.
So you're coming around the thing. So
sometimes I'll do this, and then the ball just keeps going that way, and it doesn't come back this way.
You throw the ball the same way for 4 games, and then all of a sudden and then you're like, oh shoot, and now you get a weak rollout or something, and it washes out, or it overhooks and crashes the nose. I mean, it's like. It's the stuff that nobody knows about because they just say, oh, you're rolling a bowling ball, and they think it's all the same way.
But it's also the stuff that bowlers do know about, they just may not be aware of. Like if Chuck
instinctually
Chuck knows, like for instance, if you're throwing urethane and you got a real good look and you bowl 240 the first game, and the second game you start front 5, and then you go plaque 10, swish and 7, but somehow still bail out at 220 in game 2. You knew the second plaque 10 that urethane ball is starting to quit.
It's getting weak, yeah.
Your brain is already thinking about, okay, if I go to resin, I have to make sure, yes, I still want to produce this launch angle, but I'm going to have to make sure I am in a position to tip the ball a little bit more down lane because I want it to respond a little bit later. So it may take a frame or 2, but you're at least aware of it and you know what has to be done before you do it. And
that's kind of where I was going at. It takes a frame or 2.
Yeah, and then sometimes you'll go front 5, plaque 10, but you're like, okay, I'm getting ready to come up in the 8th frame. Let me grind out what I can on this one and start working. If I get a fill ball, I move, throw a ball, see what it looks like, and then make a change.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ocho, at least for me, there's times that I'll make a blind ball change, a ball that I never even threw once in practice. And I'll say, you know what? I know this motion right now. And if this ball's doing this, I know that this ball from this zone is going to do this.
Hi, Chucky.
What's up, Jay? Good to see you, everybody.
What's up, y'all?
Mrs. Rakoski right there.
Mrs. R. I haven't seen you since Bill Moore's house.
Yeah, we were talking about that today, too.
Right. But, no. Sorry, you know me. I lost what I was saying.
Yeah, I know. I forgot too. Oh, about the moves and all that stuff and making the blind ball change.
That was on me.
There's some times where I'll make the blind ball change and 100% know it's going to be the right motion. And then there's other times where I'm skeptical of it, even though I know it. It's like close. So you make either, I want to say it's not a protective shot, but you focus more on what you're absolutely telling yourself in your brain you have to do in order to see, okay, I got that ball where I wanted it to down lane and it bucketed. But it's definitely better than where I was.
But in your head, you're also saying, okay, also don't make a mistake. So I almost feel like there's got to be a little bit of guardedness just on the first 2 shots, maybe. Like
I said, it's situation.
Just guard it a little bit, and then you go, okay, now I got it.
Situation dependent for me. If my back's against the wall, I don't care what ball I'm throwing. I'm going to throw the best shot I know how to throw. If I'm on a double after I just bowled 230 and I happen to glance at the number and I'm dancing around the number, I'm a little more hesitant. I'm maybe a little bit more.
Maybe you move a board left or board right and then do your thing there.
Yeah. But then eventually you can cancel that out by just saying, fuck the number. I'm trying to win the tournament. I'm not trying to get a check.
I mean, my thing was, look, bowling 4 games the same way and only having, you're moving a board right, a board left, you're in the same area, and then all of a sudden you're making the jump. It just, brain-wise, like, does it tickle you a little bit and go, okay, well, now I got to trust it. I got to feed it out. I like you said, Chuck, I'm going to get around this one, throw it totally different the way you haven't been. And it's, I don't know. It's like that's the shit that nobody gets to see, nobody gets to hear about, nobody gets to even have a lesson about on the TV. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
so he's doing it enough times, I'm sure. But like, go ahead.
Yeah. If you watch some of our tournaments on Bowl TV, Chris Barnes, Tom Hess, John Janowitz, they will always, if they get a chance on a field ball, they're throwing something different. And I've seen Chris Barnes throwing an IQ 78 up 1-2, and then on spill ball he goes 4 zones to the left and circles the lane with it and is dead flush in the pocket.
And he's just testing it out too.
Testing it out. And then the next thing you know, he starts the next game with the front 6 or 7 loop in the lane, and it's amazing to watch these guys, man.
No, that's the one, and that's why it's such a thing. It's like you got to be a physics major almost, and a chemist to understand the pattern, let alone the breakdown, then how to throw the ball on top of it. So
right.
That's the stuff that always kill. I'm like, even if I switch a ball and I'm an amateur, it takes me a throw or two and I'm okay. You guys will jump 40 boards left after throwing it a certain way, and then it looks totally different. You've been there before, I get it, but like that first throw can't be so like, oh, I'm gonna rip the shit out of this. You almost got to be like, all right, let's see what happens. And again, when you throw it, like when you're not warmed up, if you're guarded. You're not even going to get a true read on the damn thing. So it's more of an accolade to you guys, really, like that. How you can make that jump when you're saying, admittedly, three patterns are playing your thing great, but the breakdown's going to hit. You're going to chase the oil, and then you're going to be so.
Yeah, you gotta keep an eye. And some guys get up there and they throw the ball, and then they just turn around and walk away. A lot of the guys sitting there and they'll watch the ball go through the pins to make sure it's still going through the pins. And if it doesn't go through the pins one shot, they've changed balls, changed zones,
got something going on,
and they're right back on it. Those guys are just brilliant.
I guess we lost Johnny. So we got to wrap it up here, Chuck. Thanks for being a good sport about everything. It was actually your idea.
How the fuck did he get on the show?
It was a funny idea. And thanks to Tom Hess and Chris Barnes and obviously Parker Bone III for being good sports and making those videos for us.
I told them what was going on. They thought it was hilarious. So
they're awesome. No, they're
absolutely.
But honestly, you have been, like I said, you've supported our show literally since day one, and you've gotten us some very, very high profile guests, and we appreciate your contributions to our show and being here each and every week. You really are one of the unsung heroes of our crew here, and we greatly appreciate everything you've done for us, for real.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I love the show. I love you guys, man. You guys are great. And if there's any time you need me to reach out to somebody, man, don't hesitate. I'll if I can get to them, I'll get to them.
And
he'll never be on again, though, right, Rob? Like, can we like make that happen? Like,
yes,
he'll never again. Got it.
Okay.
Your one and only shot now.
Only it's admin stuff. It's not us.
Banned for life. I've been banned for life.
It's admin. Well. It's admin stuff. It's not us.
Okay.
It's not personal. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But you will be coming here to Smyrna, Tennessee, hopefully in September for the PBA50 Greater Nashville Super Regional in the South region. So that's 15 minutes away from me. So we'll get to hang out for real this time.
Chuck,
absolutely.
Don't.
He could,
Don't.
he,
No,
he could take
don't.
me to Popeyes.
I will take you to Popeyes. There's one right down the street. No.
There
He's
you
going to
go.
make you pay, and you don't realize what his bill is. Chuck, don't do it. He ran a Norm Peterson tab.
We'll
That's
wait
all
for
right.
Johnny. We'll wait for Johnny to come back before we wrap it up. But yeah, no, it's literally one of the few. In fact, it might even be the only true bowling center left in Middle Tennessee that hasn't turned into one of those entertainment zones, and
Family
shit.
fun centers.
Yeah, they actually have leagues. Imagine that, but it sucks, man. All the mom and pops have gone by the wayside. We have main event here. We have strikes and spares. We have oh god, there's like two other. There's at least four of those like.
Oh, there's the puppy.
There's Evelyn. Just want to say hi.
Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn.
What's up, Evelyn? Did she hit the cutoff man yet, Johnny? Have you been practicing with her?
Oh, she's the best.
Okay, good. Finally. Took 6 to 8 months.
Cutoff, man.
Yeah, she's got it.
Well, we're wrapping up, John. We were just saying our goodbyes to Chuck and thanking him for being such an integral part of our crew and
goodbyes forever. I've been
goodbyes
forever.
It's his one and only shot on the show.
He's breaking up.
It was an absolute pleasure having you, and I actually thought this was a very enjoyable show. I actually think that we had some more solid convos than we've had in quite some time. So it was very insightful. It was very descriptive. It was a walk down memory lane, and it's always nice having somebody that has a wealth of knowledge about the sport we all love. So thank you for seriously, Cousin Cinco, for that.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Hell yeah, man.
I had to bamboozle my way on there, but it was a blast.
Yeah, and we put out a disclaimer that no, we're not related, obviously, and
we're not related.
This picture
we're not
right
related.
here, and then
I still think there's some.
Yeah, I do have to do the little raise right there.
We can do something like this. Don't even Photoshop him. I know it might help him, but
right.
Hey, if John Sprone enjoyed the show, it was a good show because he's a cranky motherfucker. I'm telling you, that
guy. He's a douchebag.
He is the crankiest
guy. He'll be less cranky after I beat his ass. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Nicole.
Happy birthday, Nicole, again from Chuck Richey, from Cousin Cinco. My God. Now, now we're going to get we have to get her to do a blurb for Chuck Richey now. I was so happy to see Chuck Richey on there. That was my Nicole impression.
Yeah.
It was really good, actually.
That was good.
What can Ocho do?
What can't Ocho do? All right, Chuck, hey. We love you, brother. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you for thank you for your support. And
yes, sir.
I hope you enjoyed your one and only shot here on the show.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was a blast. It was a dream come true.
Here's to more wins too, man. You broke the schneid, now you're off to it, man.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Right. Yeah, man.
5, we make dreams happen here on the show.
All right, guys. Y'all take care now.
You too, buddy. We'll take care, Chuck.
I do.
I do. See you, buddy.
I do.
All right.
I do.
He do.
We love the I do.
Oh, good show, guys.
So wrap it up with again, folks who weren't here. Let's get a final description of what I do should be spelled, so it's not spelled differently on television for the next 20 years because it's going to happen. So, in the next month, we'll give it 4 weeks.
I'm just going to give my 10 cents because Rob did too. I understand the spelling with the EYE. I do.
That's not that good.
The problem is most people when they see that they say I.
Yeah, it's got to be ah.
Okay, all right.
Look what happened to my fucking ah? They don't do that, right?
That's true.
Unless you say like Southern.
Most people read A-A-H-H.
I do.
It's just A-H-H-H. Like I do.
Yeah.
Like I bid you, I do.
I do.
So, but I like D-E-W. I definitely like D-E-W.
I do. Yeah, and put like the Mountain Dew logo behind it.
Like I definitely, yes, 100%. Or just his fro and it.
No, you have him on a surfboard coming out of the end of it like
I do.
Like the Mountain Dew W. You have it be Kyle.
So we got it. I think whatever the first word is should end in a vowel though. So I gotta figure that part out, and maybe I should because I'm the smartest.
We'll get ChatGPT to figure out how to do it.
Or Southern. Say Southern. I do.
I do.
Yeah. I do.
I'll put a poll up.
Guys, say hi to Jennifer real quick for me.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, is that her name, Jennifer?
Or Jenny?
Jenny.
Jenny. I was running to you.
Man, just like that.
I think I'm gonna go home now.
Somebody turned off the rain.
My best good
I got
friend.
a boner.
Bubba's my best good
wait,
friend.
shit, that wasn't part of it.
Yeah, that was close. You got shot.
Speaking of boners, we'll just bring it up one more time.
Here's the county fair.
Yeah, again, I'm really, really pumped about going this year, man. I have a national chili cook-off.
All right.
So we got to go.
Yeah. It's we should actually make a family road trip. We should all go to the Union County Fair and broadcast live from there.
I mean, it would be great.
We'll make that happen. Ocho, is there money in the budget for that?
We can handle that.
I emptied the budget. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can handle it. All right, let's go.
All right, guys. Next week, no idea. I literally don't know week to week. You never know who's going to be on the show, but we'll be here as far as I know. But thank you guys for hanging out here in the chat. Amanda's here as we're just wrapping up. Oh, by the way, Amanda, congratulations on getting engaged.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on your engagement with me.
I will be poolside with Ocho next Wednesday.
Oh.
Yes.
Shirtless or not?
You know, that kind of depends. The camera hides the unfitness of me right now, and I still have broad shoulders, so I think it'll work topless.
He said broad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I do.
Oh yeah, broads, man.
Yeah,
I do.
All right, good deal. All right, Nico, I'm hitting the outro here. Just stay on bitch at me.
We'll get it. We have a month. Let's have a month, and then it's going on t-shirts.
I do.
That's fair. All right, Johnny, Ocho. Good night, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Everybody else.
Good job with our Twitter handles. Good job, Rob.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody uses that shit anymore. Yeah, fucking.
Well, now we have a poll.
Post game shows brought to you by.
The poll will be on our
Christ,
Facebook.
I can't find it.
The hell with it.
The hell with it. No one's listening anyway.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. You can follow the show on Twitter at Straight Up 5 Pod. Follow Johnny Jr. at JPJR07. Follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. And follow Dr. Ocho at the Dr. Ocho. Got a question for Johnny? Send your questions to straightup5podcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. Right here on the Rad Rob